We're back at our shenanigans. Where were we last time? We drew the dungeon, right? I think that was the main thing we did.
There's the Rat Queen.
I think we were on Calamity.
Thank you.
Yeah, we, it's not even a suspiciously phallic dungeon, it's just a phallic dungeon.
Yeah, it's a deliberately phallic dungeon.
It's deliberately, exactly. I neglected to actually make the dungeon into a real map, but we'll probably do more drawing on it anyways at some point, so, you know, I'll get to that later. So that will not be up on the fancy screen, unfortunately.
Oh no, I was gonna make a joke about it being an audio stream, but you got the...
We got that at least, yeah. Which it would,
We went back to using that, so...
A little bit. Just a tiny bit, yeah. So by the powers of technology, we have some visuals over there.
Yeah.
And now it's just a static image. There's not even a little soundbar there. It's great. So in some ways, it's even more of an audio stream than before.
I don't know, it's pretty...
The worse the bitrate is, the more dynamic the stream will be.
That's true. That's just a fact. All right. So yeah, I think we went through Calamity because I think I banked that essentially.
Gotcha.
We got our loot. I don't know when that comes.
Right. Yeah, because I went to roll Calamity, which is we did the loot at the start. I went to roll Calamity, and that's basically how your minions respond to things happening in your dungeon.
Yes.
And they responded very well. I forget the exact roll you got, but it was essentially like they'll any of your minion packs that you want to go with you
For Christ's sake.
can play Megalovania while they travel with you on the next raid for free.
And that's very good.
Yes.
But
So
we
you
don't have
because I
any
spend, like, all my gold.
skeletons.
I've got plenty of minions. I don't know about you.
No, I said skeletons, not minions.
Yeah, my minions have skeletons in them. Do you not
So
think
do
fish have
mine.
They
bones?
all got the Sans Undertale upgrades automatically. That's just how well they rolled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the main thing that happened there. They all got morale as well if they have that on your little minion sheets. Who has minions? Pretty much everybody, right?
I think we all took them.
Everybody got a pack of minions? Excellent.
Yeah, I bought some more kobold,
Yeah.
which is very southern of me.
You hired the kobolds.
That's what they think.
Okay, so we've got the basic atmosphere of your dungeon down now. You've been building this up. It's probably taken you a few weeks, if not a few months, to get to this point. It just takes a while to build all this out, especially with the rather extravagant materials you chose for your dungeon. It just takes a bit of time, but it is what it is. And now all of you find yourselves down. We're going to zoom in on the scene in your lair, where all four of you are lurking at the moment. Down by the forge, right? I assume there's hammers ringing constantly, metal back against metal, the smell of sulfur in the air as you're trying to transform this into a volcano lair with the forge down there. Although it's not really a volcano yet, it's just...
We're trying.
We're trying,
We're
yeah.
monsters, so we're stupid.
Exactly. It's monster science. You're going to make a volcano.
It is pretty ambitious to make your own volcano.
That is pretty ambitious. That could be the stage 5 plan of this, this group. It's just to summon the volcano.
It'll do absolutely nothing bad to the surrounding geography.
The ultimate goal is for Stognagrad to erupt over the entire region.
It would be pretty funny if one of those mountains directly next door was already a volcano.
Really funny. Your monster science involves figuring out, oh, it's about to erupt anyways. Let's go steal its magma.
We
flow.
import the volcano.
Yeah, and just like redirect it. Down
We
to
couldn't afford the retail price for the real volcanoes. So we're like, fuck it, we'll build our own.
Exactly. You'll perform a magma heist later on.
We'll be the volcano at home.
Exactly. So your four characters are down in the forge at the moment. The machine that is your dungeon, all of your minions going about and performing their various tasks and working on things, getting more rooms built, whatever, all of that is humming along in the background. And you've finally reached a point where you feel like you each have some free time to do with what you please. You've gotten some work done on your downtime projects, and you're all realizing that you need to get together and you need to figure out what your next plan is. How are you going to go out there, bring more wealth to your dungeon? You need an immediate course of action. So what do you all do? What do you guys can discuss, like in character down in the lair?
I think we had settled on going after the dragon commune, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought it was the Goblin Kingdom.
I feel like the goblin. Like at
So
some
it's-
point we need to do the dragon
they
commune, but they might be a little dangerous for us at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably good to start with a goal, and
Yes.
then we can figure out where that goal might take you. Because if you're just, I mean, you
Right,
could
right.
just say our goal is to gather gold or something. You could. You would need to go on a raid if you want to complete your vehicle bay, for example.
Yes.
So you might want to figure out what.
I think we were talking about the
Yeah.
big old dragon statue at the dragon commune.
Oh, okay.
that we
yeah.
were going to use as like the shell of our vehicle.
That would make sense. Steal their statue.
Yeah. Yeah, we could totally do that.
Well, maybe we could just sneak in the dead of night and heist the statue.
There
They'll
is
never know.
no visual difference between a fish man and a dragon. They'll never see it coming.
Basically. The fish is just the dragon of the sea.
Mm-hmm. Hence Magikarp.
Which one of you discovered or came up with this idea of going to the Dragon Commune and stealing their statue?
Might have been me, I don't know.
Yes.
Well, who's in charge of the vehicle bay?
Ferdinand.
Yes, I'm in charge of the Rat Queen.
Yes, that's right. So if so perhaps Kobe, you were trying to think of how to make this vehicle fly, and Carpolomy was like, well, there's a great, starting point already out there. A great hull for us to steal and hollow out.
Dragons fly.
Exactly.
Dragon statue fly.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
Just imagine if we filled it with things that also flew. Or could help it fly. It could fly even better. And then we'd have something that could fly.
Birds.
Yes, we could fill it with birds.
Bees.
Birds and bees.
We even have bees already.
Yeah, bees.
Did we ever go back for the guy who was buried
Yes.
under the... Okay.
Yeah.
He's dead.
I think he
Oh, yeah.
died anyway.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
died anyway.
I remember.
Your minions tried to torture him for info to
Yep.
death, sadly.
Very sad.
That didn't roll very well for that. Or I guess your imps did, rather. More accurate. Your imps tried to torture him.
Yes.
Perhaps that was just the excuse they came up with after the fact. Like, yes, we were trying to
That
get
may
information
have
out of
been
him.
the
Yeah.
case. We're just not very good at our job.
Exactly.
Yeah, shucks.
Well, I are tier 0 imps, you can only expect so much out of
Yeah.
them. So, you've got a goal. You want to
Yeah.
go to the Dragon Commune. Yes, go ahead.
No, just agreeing.
Okay, so you got a goal. You want to go to the Dragon Commune. Yeah, that means you have a target as well. So, now we need to sort of unpack the details of that plan, which you could do in character, I think is best, but you want to pick a basic outline of a plan here, and I'll try and translate it into rules, but
Okay.
go for it.
Go be sneak.
Yes.
Get thrown in through window.
I think the statue is... Is it outside? I can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Have any of us have been there?
Throwing...
Probably not. Although we can establish that later in a flashback, so it's best
Yes.
not to establish
Okay.
yes or no yet.
Okay.
Throw Kobe through window.
Throw Kobe through window, yes.
Kobe open door.
Kobe open door. How will we get statue away? We need a vehicle, but we need a vehicle for our vehicle. We'll just make the imps carry it.
We have a boat.
We do.
We do have a boat. Yes.
You have a little rowboat. That might not be good enough for a...
How many imps will it take to carry a statue?
Grease.
What?
Push statue onto grease. Slide down into water.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. Grease floats on water after all.
It is probably worth mentioning that the Dragon Commune is about a 2-day walk from your current location.
Gotcha.
So, if the statue's covered in grease,
Yeah.
it'll also float.
That may be a stretch, but I don't know how hollow it is.
So there is
We can tow it behind the boat.
Statue
Yes.
into boat.
there is another thing we can do here, which is perhaps if the Dragon Commune is a little too far away at the moment to reasonably get the dragon back,
Yes.
you can perform what's called a setup raid, where you go and you raid some other place so you can get an asset to take with you. So maybe you could go to somewhere else that's more nearby and pick up like a boat or something, and like, we're gonna steal a boat and then we'll use the boat to get the dragon, which seems a little indirect, but
Yeah. I bet the Goblin Kingdom has a raiding boat.
probably.
Carp
They're
Town.
pretty close to the water.
Carp
Yeah, but Carp Town's like almost the same distance away from the dragon commune as us.
Yeah,
But
but
we
it's
can
on the
boat
water.
straight there.
So
We're also on the water.
I guess I should clarify.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to look at the distance from your primary target to your secondary target.
Yep.
It's more like, how the hell are we going to get the dragon back to?
Gotcha.
the
We're just
thing?
getting more resources out of
Right.
the hill.
So you might like week 1 go steal a boat. Week 2 take the
Yep.
boat to steal the dragon. Basically that kind of thing.
And
Gotcha.
take the little boat to get a big boat.
Exactly. That's possible, and that
Yep.
could get you
Crabtown probably biggest boats.
a little more set up.
Probably.
So it's a possibility. I just want to throw that out there.
Go to Crabtown. get
We
big
should go to
boat,
Carp Town and get one of their legendary carp ships.
Okay.
Get big boat.
Mm-hmm.
Thing to break statue legs.
Mm-hmm.
More grease.
All of those seem like good things to get.
Okay, so you get a bunch of supplies at Carp Town. Just do a little bit of pillaging.
Mm-hmm.
Is Carp Town light or dark?
Light.
Light.
I can't
Light
see.
too.
Oh, I see it now.
Jesus Christ, you drove us here.
It's white text on a light background.
There
Wait.
was not much I could do about that, unfortunately.
You could make it orange.
I don't know if you can in the Foundry module.
Maybe, because these are. I did convert them all to drawings so I could have some control over them, because I even tried installing a few different modules
Yeah.
that were like.
You can tint them.
Yeah.
And it's white.
What if I make them? Oh, well, let's see. Green would not be a good color for its location.
Orange.
Let's-
Stand out against the blue and everything.
Let's make it.
It's fine.
Boom. That's not easy to read at all.
Magenta is
But
the top tier color.
It's fine.
I'll just convert
That
it.
makes
I can
it
answer
advised
questions.
target.
It also
Thank
highlights
you.
it as a.
I have
no,
my
no.
glasses on. I can.
Oh, it's the
read
target?
text,
Sure,
too.
sure. We can make it the target of magenta. There we go.
Excellent.
Magenta target. Oh, there it goes. Took a second.
Thank you.
Carp Town.
I even have the Bass Brothers who can give us some inside information.
You hired them from home. We're like, all right, now let's go kill your neighbors.
Yeah, there's a lot of factional politicking between families in Carp Town.
That makes sense.
This town's really only big enough for like 20 of us. There's way more than 20 people in Carp Town.
So
I mean,
let's.
could we maybe buy a boat?
No,
We don't have the money for that.
we also don't speak their stupid
Oh,
language.
that's true.
The Bass
No.
Brothers do.
Just
That's
all
true.
of our minions.
Yeah, does
All
does
of our
everyone's
minions
minion
speak
have
this.
that now?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty useful. We all
Minions,
thought.
translate for me. I can't understand.
Give me that.
I think that's responsible for a lot of poor treaties in actual history.
This makes some sense. You know, maybe the light tongue is just such a filthy language. You don't
Yep.
want to speak it
Very
yourself, so you
barbaric.
delegate that task to your minions.
It's so dumb.
They say stuff like me, maybe, 3.
Exactly.
that?
Who does that?
Sing this me.
So if we're doing
lighters,
a raid to get a boat first,
Yes.
we need a new plan. So you can't. You could still get thrown through a window somewhere in there, but are you also going to try and sneak in and just yoink a boat stealthily, or
Can we make it a point to throw him through a window like every week?
possibly?
Okay.
That's up to you, not me.
We need grease too.
find big boat,
Yep.
swarm with all minions, kill everybody, leave.
Killing everybody may incite revenge. The Carp are a very vengeful people.
That's their problem.
It will be our problem if they take vengeance upon
No,
us.
no.
I really think we should.
Home
Let's-
base
we
full
should
of
try
traps and minions, completely safe, full confidence.
Not until we have a giant dragon vehicle that we can use to run people over. We're still in the process of getting
I
that.
thought it flew.
Oh, it will.
Oh.
It will sort of, smear them against the ground from above. It will trample them from the skies. I strongly feel we should be stealthy and sneaky about this. We should find our target and we should stalk them. We should make them our prey.
Make them our prisoners.
The boat will be our prisoner, yes.
Yes, boat prison.
Boat prison, yes. So we've got a couple votes here for like either it sounds like maybe an ambush or an assault type plan or a stealthy plan. Some other options could include being tricky, trying to trick them into giving it to you. Maybe you convince them it's haunted or something, and we'll take it off your hands. Sure.
3 kobolds in trench coat.
Yeah.
We could win at gambling.
We could. It didn't work out so well for me last time, but we could. I am confident it will work this time.
Get them to wager their boat. What will we wager?
The Bass Brothers.
Okay.
Minions.
They could go back to their families if they win.
And that's the second stage of the plan. Once we lose the Bass Brothers sneak off, take their boat, and bring it back to us. They'll definitely not betray us. That's definitely not something that's going to happen.
What if we tunnel into the side of the boat and then no one will notice that we got
I think that defeats the purpose of the boat. It's difficult to repair the boat once you tunnel into it.
Explain how.
Tunnel into it from under the water where they
There's-
can't see the hole.
Yeah, exactly.
That could work.
We'll simply tunnel through the water as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're pretty good at tunneling.
Yeah, you've got kobolds and a carp. What better combination for tunneling through water than...
George, what are your thoughts?
I like the gambling idea.
Alright, so we got a trickery.
I think we try and win the boat.
I'll shift my vote to gamble boat.
What do you think? Oh, great, not us.
I was gonna say we tow the boat out into the middle of the water and attack them there, but
Ambush them in the water.
yeah.
There's too many good ideas.
Plan A,
Why are you playing?
I
like this?
create a magnificent disguise trench coat. And then we use
One that
that
looks like a fish.
to gamble to get the boat. And if it fails, we all jump out and just kill everybody.
I feel like
Without-
that's always the backup.
Without
plan.
anybody in the town noticing.
If it fails, they notice.
If it fails, no witnesses.
Yep. Ambushing them
So
in the
we-
middle of the lake is also a good idea.
Indeed. We also can leave this down to a roll of the dice if there's some indecision here.
Yeah.
If it seems like we've got two groups that really want to do a bit of stabby action, and the other group wants to do a bit of trickery, each of you could choose a spokesperson, and then you're going to roll off against each other to
Yes.
see who wins the power in a struggle. So who's going to vouch for the gambling plan side? And what role would you like to put up for that? And who's going to do the same thing for the violence side?
I'd rather gamble than violence.
Violence Plan B.
Okay, so then we actually have 3 votes for gamble. Okay, easy enough.
Fine.
Yeah.
Unless the violence is
Well, there's-
like
violence
pulling
is
them out
always the
into
plan.
the water and then violence, but no violence on the shore.
Yeah,
that seems like a bad idea.
Violence
Yeah.
as a backup plan is pretty much the universal plan B. So I have a few questions about your plan then. If you're going in trying to trick them,
Yes.
it seems pretty obvious. What do you want them to do is give you the boat. But why would they do that? What's your angle?
I say we show up with a bunch of muscle. And we tell them, ho ho! We're gonna have a friendly wager. If you want to keep your spines in your gills.
And who's the muscle? You? Just
Yeah.
you. Okay.
I flex my human arms that are pretty spindly.
I mean, they're bigger than mine.
And once they're terrified of us, they don't want trouble. Yes, me.
Okay.
And the Bass Brothers, of course.
They're standing behind you flexing.
Yes.
Okay.
They are both far more muscular than I am. Then they will agree to our game of skill and chance, but they'll be terrified and their performance will be just abysmal and will easily win. And nobody can do anything about it because it was a perfectly legal and fair game of chance.
And they'll just hand it over.
They'll just hand it over. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Sounds legit.
That's stupid.
The Salmon sisters have a good boat.
Kobe's over there already drawing a diagram, tunneling into the boat, muttering stupid under his breath. Perfect.
I take our boat, paper mache it to look cool,
Ooh.
and then
Incredible.
we wager that. We leave it way out on the lake so people can't see that.
What if we bring it close and say, no, it's very far away. It's very big, but very far away.
And meanwhile, we approach their boat. Swim.
Well, I know where their boat is. It'll be in the harbor.
We have to get from our boat to their boat.
Well, yes, we could swim. So yes, what you said.
Okay.
This is very straightforward. I don't understand the issue.
Okay. Who votes for paper macheing our boat to look cool? Sure.
Okay, sounds great.
Kobe and Toe.
Which
So
one
we
of us
can
has
grab
points in
their
arts and
boat and
crafts?
leave with it. Don't worry.
I'm not sure which one's arts and crafts.
Maybe finesse, tinker.
Kobe do it.
Finesse and trick, I think.
Kobe and my Kobe minions.
So
Your little Kobe beeves.
it sounds like if you win the wager, all will be well. But obviously, there's a danger of one of the questions here is does it matter if they know afterwards, which might only come up if I think them knowing the trick is them finding out that you didn't wager anything valuable in the first place. In which case, they might get mad.
They would
They
know
might
if
get
they
mad.
win.
Yes, but if they or if the boat.
I think
gets
with the
too close.
culture in Carp Town, people would just laugh at them for not being smart enough to figure it out.
That makes sense. So probably wouldn't matter too much then, especially if you're having an actual wager. They're probably not. If you succeed at the wager, they probably won't care whether or not it was real or whatever.
What
Yeah.
is the gambling culture of Carp Town?
Yes.
Pervasive,
Okay, good.
deep, ancient, wet.
I mean, you figure we went gambling and we came back with
With the Bass Brothers.
the Bass Brothers and my two minions.
They invented craps, but they just call it carps.
Oh, that's good. I was going to say crabs. Two very similar games from the same original root.
What we're gonna do is
No, the crab people have crabs. They have carp, right? And then they fight over who's right about the name. It's like a football soccer thing.
Yes.
It's like a
that's what
Incredible.
makes them dark.
yeah. There we go.
So, pretty boat will have towing equipment. So if we fail to gamble, minions on the boat just sail it over, attach it to big boat, and leave.
I like the way you think.
I will give
We
you
can
my
push it
two
from
minions
behind.
because I'll be gambling with him.
Your minions do boat, my minions do paper mache. And then we have to stay and knock everybody out or something so they don't follow us while we steal the boat or jump on it and knock everyone out there.
Well, if they follow, we'll bludgeon them, of course.
Yes.
Everybody knows where we are.
Plan A, gamble. Plan B, steal. Plan C, kill.
Yes. That seems like a logical sequence of events.
All right. Sounds good. So let's get into it then. Because we've got at least the basic outline. We've got a few important details that we're all clear on. So now I make the engagement roll, and I have to tally up, which I like to do publicly. I think it's more fun. What factors I think you've got in your favor here? What factors I think you've got against you here? I think you've got one factor against you here, which is two members of your party have previously gambled in there and have become a little bit infamous and might be well known, unfortunately, for being previously thrown out of the town for gambling too much in Carp Town, which is crazy. That's a lot of gambling.
It's very impressive.
Yes, it's very impressive.
It's okay. They can go in disguise.
Exactly. I love the paper
Trench
mache
coat.
plan. I'm going to give you +1 for that. And I love that you're doing trickery instead of just stabbing, so I'm going to give you +1 for that. So, in total, you have 2 dice for this roll, and we're going to see how things start out for you. Okay. That is a mixed success on the roll. So you're going to start in a bit of a risky position here. You're not going to start in a controlled position. I think as you approach the shore, you've got this marvelous boat, which actually, this is a perfect place to start the roll based on that roll. Kobe, since you decided you wanted to paper mache the boat and make it fancy, could you give me a roll with risky position to see how well you manage that?
I don't know what that means.
So if you're
Is it just because it's just the outcome, right? I don't have to do anything special?
So yeah, this is basically gonna see with the time you had, how nice of a boat did you manage to make? You know, were there any flaws with it you didn't notice? That kind of thing. Just what?
And since I have 3 in Tinker, it'd be 3 die.
Yes, you could do 3 in Tinker. That makes sense. You could spend a Dark Hearten if you want. We're in full raid mode now, so all the normal action modes apply.
Is this the default or is this dire?
Default.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got a 3, a 3, and a 2.
3, a 3, and a 2. Okay, so that unfortunately is a failure. So I think as
Can I
you
then use
yes.
the feature from the conniver to let him roll 1 more die and take a stress?
What is the wording on it? 'Cause
It
might
says
be-
you can spend stress to have an ally remember your voice in their head, allowing them to re-roll a failure.
Oh.
If they roll a success, you gain a dark heart.
Oh, that's really good.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you have that one marked, then we can absolutely do that. So
Yeah,
you
that's
take
I
Right.
remember him saying,
One right at
don't
the
make
top
it
there.
shit.
exactly. Don't make it shit, yeah.
4.
So it allows allowing them to re-roll a failure. That wording.
Is that all the dice get rerolled?
Yeah, I think the result was a failure, so you just get to re-roll. I
Gotcha.
think is how that works.
All of them?
Because I'm reading it here. It just says re-roll a
Yeah.
failure. The only thing that is a failure is when all of your dice add up and the highest one is a failure. So yeah, go ahead and
Wow.
roll your other 2 as well. So your check.
4, 1, 1.
So 4. Okay, so 4 is mixed. You at least didn't outright fail. They said, you know, Metal said, don't make it shit. You managed to avoid that at least. You
better
know, you were,
listen.
you had your like tunnel bore ready to tunnel into the boat just to test it, and then you remembered those wise words. Thankfully, just in time. And so, okay, so with a mixed success there, you all are all riding on this boat. Kobe had it all planned out perfectly. It's going to go great. It's this fantastic looking boat, and actually, can you go ahead and describe how you made this boat look fancy? What's your idea?
So I was going to just write fancy on it, but then I
Ooh.
remember these idiots don't speak.
Right, that's true.
Do I know good? No. Alright,
3.
so screw their language.
Yeah, true.
So I use as much yellow paint as possible to make it look like it's golden, and a bunch of colorful dots to make it look like it's jewel encrusted at the top. But also there's like a little dragon head on front, mostly so I can practice
Barbaric.
making dragon iconography for our actual vehicles.
Excellent. So it's still a small rowboat. It just looks really fancy on the outside. Like
Well, it
shiny.
also looks bigger, but not like big enough.
Right, just a little smidge bigger than a rowboat. Yeah, you could sell it as a luxury private vessel. Yeah, it's just that
It's the
luxury
yacht.
touch. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the consequence there, you got this fancy boat, and you tested it with yourself sitting in the boat, but you have all your minions and all of your allies here with you in the boat. It's sinking just a little lower in the water than you thought it would. And a lot of your paint and paper mache is just starting to melt away. It's not gone yet, but it's just starting to as you're making your way across here. As it just occasionally dips beneath the surface, so a wave happens to hit you just the wrong way. So you're under a bit of time pressure here, because if you don't manage to pull this thing off quickly, you're not going to have a fancy boat and you're going to have to jump right to plan B. But that's the current situation. But you do make it over to Carptown in about a day's travel on this little rowboat across these waters. And Kobe, you're probably trying to do maintenance and make sure everything's not falling apart too much, but it's not completely gone by the time you get there. Would this be like broad daylight you're approaching just because you want people to be around? Like
Evening.
evening?
I think evening would be good. We want to catch.
I don't think we want a boat chock full of people.
We want to catch the salmon sisters when they're tired and brain dead after a long day of.
We
Fishing.
want to get them when they're coming off the boat to start getting drunk.
Yes.
That's the game.
Or maybe already drunk a little bit. Okay, excellent. So the sun is going down. It's becoming evening here. There's that nice orange glow over one half of the sky.
Helps to make the gold look gold.
Exactly, it does. It helps to
Good planning.
make your vessel look. There's just enough light for people to see that it's not a normal boat, but it's like hard to really make out the details unless you really get close. All right, so you're making your way over to the town. How do you approach? Do you want to like announce yourselves as you arrive? Do you want to show up nonchalantly and just start up a friendly conversation with somebody? What's the plan here?
I think we should show up swaggering and menacing. We want to intimidate people into not confronting us.
Well, first of all, the kobolds are in a trench coat. Because we
Understandable.
have to hide that it's them from before.
So all three of us.
No,
Oh.
just you two.
Oh.
He's the bottom. So now it's just a very tall,
No,
weird-looking
he
dog.
has to be the top.
No, he's the one they recognize.
But he's the one that can gamble.
What if he wears a mustache?
Well, he can gamble too.
Yeah, but I can't.
Cobalt with the mustache.
You don't have to. He'll do it. You just gotta be the face. You can reach his little arms out of the coat.
Your arms are very low. Huh?
I play my cards close to the chest.
You just shove them in the coat.
Play my cards close to the pelvis.
So he's the one doing the gambling.
Yes, but you are the face.
I'm a face. Okay.
Excellent. All right. So we've got a bit of a disguise. We got some kobolds in a trench coat. We have a carpet. Is Kobe just going to stay in the ship until Plan B? Is that kind of the idea there?
That's what I was
No,
gonna
I'm just
do.
also there. They don't know me.
Okay. Well, you're just a kobold. Okay. fine.
I'm
Are
a
your
new
minions
kobold.
staying behind to manage the ship?
My minions stayed at home
Okay.
because they are very weak crafters.
Understandable.
They don't really do anything.
He's the muscle. He's staying there with the Cart brothers.
Yeah, the Bass brothers have some
Bass
pipes.
brothers. He's,
They're
he's
just
just
kind of
flexing down close to the floor.
So we're leaving my minions on the boat then.
Yes.
Okay.
My minions
Orcs.
also are on the boat.
Your pack is.
Actually, no. My minions will be with me, but they're invisible.
Do they have? Oh, okay. They don't have their own.
Yeah,
trench
you
coat.
have a special minion, right?
Yeah, they're ghosts.
Oh, it is a pack of ghosts. Okay, cool. Nice. So you got a bunch of ghosts. That's pretty sick.
The GOASTs.
Exactly.
Why?
I don't know. It seemed great.
Because.
Poorly.
That's how you spell it in the dark language.
Yeah. And that you all spell ghost normally in the dark language, but you think that's how you perceive it being spelled in the light language is ghost.
Those idiots spell it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same exact word in both languages,
Yes.
completely coincidentally.
Exactly.
Not even from the same linguistic
Yes.
group.
And both sides just make fun of each other. And
Because they're all goo ass.
Yeah. This would be hilarious if it was just like American English and British English. Nobody understood each other. You need to learn the right English.
Incredible.
But no, not quite. Not quite. All right, so you're heading towards the dock here, and this is when all of the other fishermen are sort of gathering, like docking their boats,
Yep.
starting to unload fish. What's your plan here? You're just gonna.
We have to
think we should-
find the good boat.
Yeah.
We have a specific boat in mind.
Telling you, the Salmon
The
Sisters.
Salmon
It's
Sisters.
their boat we want.
Do they look like salmons, or is it just a name?
It's just a name. They have carpets. Just
It's
like
carpet
me.
down, yeah.
Are they actually sisters?
I don't know. Seemed like a rude question.
Yeah, fair enough.
Are you two actually related?
No, we're salmon lesbians.
So let's see. Do you have a previous contact with the Salmon Sisters?
The Bass brothers.
Yeah, so you have the Bass Brothers, but do you have a?
Yes, I think they would
Oh, the
know.
Bass Brothers. would.
Yes.
Okay.
Are they rivals?
I don't know.
That seems likely.
The Bass Brothers. Okay.
It does seem likely, yeah.
I like that. So if they're rivals, this might not be a.
They've been rivals ever since they had this battle of the bands 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
They all went to high school.
The Battle of
together.
the Bass.
Shut up.
So, this might not be the most friendly, welcoming encounter if you're looking for the.
Oh yeah, I
Salmon
intend to go
Sisters.
in very threatening.
Okay, interesting. All right, fair enough. So you do manage to find them.
Sup, fishes?
Oh my god.
So I do have one more
That
question. for you,
entire
Brett.
thing is set up for that.
It
came
was
out
came to me
so
now.
quick, I could tell it was planned.
It wasn't.
You had that for like a week.
So, if you're on the boat and you're trying to leave the boat away from the dock, how do you get
Everyone
do you
going
go
to the
there?
town just jumps in the water.
Do you go there and get on land and then send the boat back out, or like?
No,
I
we've
think
done
that's
that.
what we should do. Since I feel like it would be hard for several people in a single trench coat to swim.
We
I'm
get
just
the
saying.
boat out of the trench coat.
The trench coat disguise kind of relies on it being kind of baggy and loose, and if it's all wet and sticks to you, it's just gonna look like two kobolds.
So who all is in the trench coat at the moment?
Just you two.
Okay.
So I think we should have the boat come up.
The boat
Drop-
will come up like down
Drop
the
us all
shore
off.
and out of sight.
And then goes off.
And
It's
we'll
framed
waddle,
by the setting sun.
We'll waddle up to town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go down a little ways and you walk back up into town, and as you walk towards the dock, you see your minions moving the ship out.
Yeah.
So that it's visible out there, but not moving in towards the dock. And you eventually do find the Salmon Sisters, like, sup fishes? And,
Are they put off at all with a trench coat that is likely mostly made out of skin from those guys we killed?
Like, we didn't have a trench coat before, definitely not that size.
That's a good point.
Could one of the
so
men
we
have
need to
been
make a
wearing a
craft roll?
trench coat?
I mean, they're humans. They're disgusting animals. You gotta
Who,
use their leather.
So we could do a flashback for this.
Yeah.
To us skinny human beings?
No, to getting a trench coat
Yep.
somehow or other. So let's see. You each have a different set of flashbacks you can do based on your chosen calling. So, for example, Kobe can set up structures and traps and things, or brew things, craft things. Gladys can interact with animals and spirits and things. So, if anyone thinks they have a way to get a
That's
trench
your-
coat as a flashback,
Your flashbacks.
I'll heal skin people, and then I'll sew it together.
I can flash back to having set up snares on our island for low-ranking adventurers that came to try to scout out the area, and just taking all of their clothes and kicking them back to the mainland.
Leaving them with all of their money and valuables.
All they had was the clothes. They weren't very good adventurers.
You just poke the net. You have a trench coat in there? No. Fuck. Release them. Send them back.
I like that. So let's
Catch
figure
and
out a roll
release.
for that, because I think that's going to be risky.
Okay.
You might not end up getting a trench coat out of it, which means we have to retcon a little
Right.
bit that you're not actually in a disguise, because you can procure a disguise. But
All right, and so I'm still doing a skill roll. for
yeah,
that
whatever
purpose.
you think is how Carpalnia would approach this task.
Yeah, I think it would be scan. I'm
Okay.
setting up we keep having these idiotic adventurers come right down the walking trail because they're dumb, and so I just said, well, I'll put my traps here.
By
And lo and
adventure, you
behold.
mean people just trying to go on another island picnic? Because we're not really a thing yet.
So
Yeah,
you,
they-
ambushing
They may have been picnickers and not adventurers. Whoop,
But
sorry.
I did.
Who can tell the
That hit me right in my
That's 2 6s.
I got the best.
Damn.
Ooh, well, that's a crit.
A living trench coat. How about that?
So
My
normally,
dick brought it low. You always just hurl one at my crotch.
I'm about to roll. Ferdinand, take the position.
Not the metal die.
that should be this monster
Brace
group
yourself,
symbol,
this is a
the symbol
four-die
of the
roll.
dick, and that's just how you get all of your power.
Ready.
Ready, thought it.
Rattle.
So with a crit,
Yeah.
I think so. Normally you'd have to pay a stress to do a flashback like this, but I think you regain a stress from this crit as well.
Okay.
Maybe you find a particularly low-ranking adventurer. Maybe it was another one of those lumberjacks. Who
Yeah.
You'll find out more about later, I guess. Who's coming back to figure out where all his friends went suddenly out of nowhere.
His friends were the lumberjacks.
Exactly. They just all went out to their normal. You know, he was the one
Yeah.
dude that didn't come to the party that day.
That makes sense.
And so all of his friends went to the party and they all died.
It happens sometimes when you're
Comes out to
moonshiners.
explore.
I think we've still got 2 in the basement.
Exactly. So I'm also going to say he becomes a prisoner. So you
Okay.
capture him.
Awesome.
You take
Thank
his trench coat, which he happened to be wearing a trench coat.
Was it like a really long torso?
Perhaps. Or perhaps it was just a chilly day and he
Okay.
just was wearing a coat. But either way, so you two are disguised in a trench coat. Excellent.
He
Nice.
was the very emo school shooter kind of guy.
Yes.
I bet you're glad I set those traps up on the main path, aren't you?
Exactly. So we snap back to Carp Town, where you finally found the Salmon Sisters, and you approach them, and they said, "Oh yes, Carp Howlemu," and they are two carp people that look almost identical to the Bass Brothers in every way. They're just like big, jacked fish
Yeah.
people. Yeah, so nice to see you.
Oh, really? You're not gonna be.
Are you doing this through the translation of the Bass Brothers?
I think maybe the
I
carp
think
people
so.
speak the common carp tongue.
That would make sense. Thank you. I'm deflated just a fraction when they say no. Oh, well, you'll be happy to see me even less when you hear my proposition.
A proposition.
Yes.
I think to all of you, since this is carp language, it's just like like
God, I
bubbly
hope so.
noises,
They're frothing at the mouth.
They have to splash water in their faces.
Their eyes are like starting to go in different directions. They start bubbling at each
They
other.
have one eye
Flexing.
on either side of their head, like one's here and one's here. Or here and here. Which
Flexing
way does
body
your
language is
head
part of the
go?
language.
It's
Is it the side of the fish facing
both.
or the front
Yes.
of the bottom of the fish?
It's the side of the fish. It's-
Okay, so
I
only
can
one
kind
eye.
of twist.
So you're like, I see what you did there, and also over there.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes.
I think the Salmon Sisters are also speaking in unison at the moment, which is a little creepy for those of you who weren't expecting it, but of course Carpalmu expected it.
They're very coordinated.
Yes. A proposition.
I mean, they're
It
also
didn't work out so well
conjoined
for you.
twins.
I've been watching that pathetic thing you call a business for years, and it makes me sick to think of how you're wasting all that potential.
Well, at least we managed to not get thrown out of town gambling too much.
Well, you know I can't be held down by the laws of society. Sometimes I just have to go where the seas take me. And they've taken me back here, right here.
Gambling is not a problem, of course.
I don't have a gambling problem.
Neither do we. But we managed to stay afloat. We managed to lose just as much as you did, in fact, and yet our business is still standing.
Well, I'm about to lose my temper.
They just look at each other and flex back. Like, oh, are you?
My proposition. We bet our ship against your pathetic little dinghy.
Perfect. I think one of the nearby carp people who's like younger, maybe like a child, maybe a young teen or something, just overhears this. Their little, I guess their ear just, one of their eyes diverts to the conversation while they walk by. And they just start running around, a wager! Like, everybody starts gathering because now the gambling culture of this place has
Yeah.
kicked in. Everybody's gathering around to see.
I heard
this
dinghy.
wager happen. Yeah, exactly.
We're going to...
Ship for a ship, eh? The character knuckles.
Yes, we're going to free Coptown from the disgusting menace of your continual fishing failures.
What?
This is
That's the only way I
really
can stand to show my snout in this town again, is if I add some pride to what you're trying to call a business.
Go ahead and give me a roll for that, whatever kind of skill you think.
Alright, I'm
Carpal
trying to
is.
be threatening, so I'm gonna do a threat.
So threatening, okay.
Can the posing
Yeah, that makes
of
sense,
the
default.
Bass Brothers help me at all?
Yeah, that'll help your effect here.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. So there's that. It's default. I think the risk here is if you don't pull it off with this whole crowd gathering around you.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
you're gonna
be-
lose momentum quite a bit.
I'm gonna have just completely lost whatever influence I had.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look very silly. It's a 6 and a 4.
All right, 6 and a 4. So that's a full success. So, We wouldn't turn down a wager after giving that much of a speech about how you're so bad at gambling. We don't have anything to lose. They look at each other. What is your ship, anyways? What could you possibly even have to wager after that travesty of gambling last time you were here?
I drop to one knee and jazz hands towards the harbor where our ship
Kobe
is.
has to like step out of the way.
One of the other Bass brothers gets on the other side and
Yeah,
goes into the
we together
Yes.
frame it.
For too many seconds, they were just pointing at Kobe.
Behold, the what's its name?
Cool dragon ship.
Cool dragon ship.
Cool dragon ship. How many fish can it hold before sinking?
It was holding
Gold.
gold, which are much heavier than fishes. It's a treasure-seeking vessel.
Well, we are interested in some treasure seeking.
Dude, you're gay.
They don't hear this, but yeah.
They
so-
also don't speak the language.
Very well. What is your wager? What are we wagering on? Dice?
What's your preferred game of chance?
Dice.
Dice!
Bartholomew leans over to the crotch of the very tall kobold and just
And
whispers.
then the crotch answer.
The trench coat opens up, a mouth pokes out. And
Do they know enough about the anatomy of a very tall kobold in a trench
That's probably
coat to
not-
know that that's
You're
not
not
okay?
even the right kind of kobold, so none of it makes sense.
Dice indeed.
Very well. Dice. Dice it is.
Lovely game of carps.
They both reach behind them and just pull out their pocket dice they always have on hand because everybody gambles here. And
Of course.
you always have to have your dice ready for a wager.
Flashback.
Flashback to what?
Breaking into their house to check their dice to make sure they are weighted.
To make sure that they're not weighted?
Yes or no.
Oh, okay. To see if they're weighted.
I could weight them wrong.
Yeah, you could like sabotage them. Sure, that sounds good. So you could pay a stress, and then I think this is going to be a risk one. This might take a couple rolls from you because if you're going to sneak in, I'm going to ask for a sneaky roll of some kind, and then probably another roll to actually do the sabotaging. But
I
So-
got two.
Can I
things.
flashback to being the lookout for him sneaking in?
sure, so you could pay a stress and assist to give Kobe a die
Yes.
on this.
May I borrow your pencil?
And yeah, what method of sneaking are you like? What's your method of entry here? Are you literally
Make
just
hurl
steal
through a
people,
window.
or- Ah, okay. If the window's open, that might be pretty sneaky.
I mean, it's either open or I don't do it. I'm a very small boy.
Does Bartholomew do the yeeting through the window?
Yes.
I think the Bass Brothers might have to. They're a bit better at actually.
Maybe roll from the Bass Brothers then
Okay.
for this roll.
They can hold a sling between them. And
All right. They have 2 in Smash,
Okay.
which I think is what they would be doing. They would be using
Yeah.
their
Powerful.
tremendous brawn. A 3.
Okay. So I think the Bass
They
Brothers.
almost hit the window.
Yes. Do the Bass Brothers have any particularly intelligent skills?
They have Tinker, Finesse, Skulk, Smash, Banter, and Invoke.
Okay, they have
It's
a lot of
almost
skills.
all intelligence.
Okay.
They're also fluent and
I
versatile.
think they'd be using some finesse at least to, aim.
Yeah, probably. A little bit.
They should, but they didn't.
It's a high window. They're more concerned
Yeah.
with them hitting the right level.
So I think perhaps they misjudged their strength a little bit here. They're not so dumb that they aim for a window that's closed or anything like that. But they do, they heave ho with Kobe and then yeet you up, and you just go a little too high, and the window is open, and so you go through both panes up top instead. And so there's a loud crash and smash when you tuck and roll into the room afterwards. I think the main consequence there is you're not going to get hurt from that necessarily because you're already broken stealth here. You have to act really quickly with what you're doing, but you do have the bonus die from Bartholomew. So, what's your actions now that you're inside the house? Everything has been smashed around you. There's people coming very soon.
Well, I clearly have to find their die. And Does he know where they are? Could he
probably
have
don't.
informed me in any facet where?
I don't think I would know where they, unless it was just like a cultural thing. Of course, all of the cop people who keep their dice in the refrigerator to keep them cool,
They probably keep them.
keep the hot streak from burning off.
Yes, that they
Don't
probably.
question it.
I mean, it's been established they keep them on their person.
I was about to say. I think it's like car keys or your wallet. It's somewhere like.
Carp keys.
Yeah, you never leave the
No.
house without it, so it's somewhere near the door, kind of thing. There's probably like you might hang your car keys on a hook or something.
It's
There's
like
probably
a
like a little
dice
tray by
box.
the door for dice. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, then I rush over to those as quickly as possible
Yes.
while trying to scream like a raccoon.
So people be like, it's just a raccoon. It's no big deal.
Why did you throw a raccoon in there? We were going to.
A wild animal got in, not some guy.
Yeah. True. All right. So give me a roll for that. What do you want to do to?
Can he also be dressed like a raccoon?
No, I didn't think that far.
Oh.
We could flashback within the flashback, but you're going to be spending a lot of stress and probably gold to get that one done. So. 'Cause
I
that's
know,
probably
I guess
already
this
down.
is-
Flashback
trick.
to where I skinned a large raccoon.
Trying what?
Trick,
Sure, sounds good.
which I don't have anything in.
So 2 dice take the worst.
6 and a 1.
Oh.
So you go with the 1. So you scream like a raccoon.
Raccoon! Raccoon!
Can I spend another point of stress on him?
Sure.
Don't scream like a
think so.
raccoon.
Don't scream raccoon, raccoon.
It doesn't say any limits. You just as long as you
Yeah.
spend the money for it. So,
2 and a 5.
so 2 is the same.
Oh,
So you're just screaming. You're screaming the word raccoon in the dark tone as you run through. So it just sounds like a demon running through their house.
Great.
Screaming out demonic words. They're like you hear them rushing around. You hear things being like tussled around and the footsteps behind you. You might not have time to actually do the waiting here. Do you want to just like swap the dice for a pair you already have or something?
No, I bet theirs are special looking. I just steal them.
Or you just steal their dice. Okay, interesting. Maybe you leave the dice containers and just steal the dice from them entirely, just like empty.
You replace them with your
Or
waiter
do you
dice.
just take the containers too and make it obvious?
I make it very obvious that they were robbed.
Okay.
You know, by the broken window.
Broke a window, started screaming. I probably take whatever else I can get my hands on, regardless of worth.
Gotcha.
Okay, sounds good. So I think the consequence of all these rolls, unfortunately, then, is that you start just grabbing things and stuffing them in pockets and things, and then that's when they open the door. You see the Salmon Sisters, and now you know who they are before you got to this place because they've also seen your face. And in the rush of things, they haven't noticed who you are yet, but you're realizing they could at any minute. Unfortunately.
I think
the
if
sun is
they had
shining right
seen
in
me
their eyes.
before, I would just be in the trench coat.
So
Now
you're the
it's
third
3 high.
kobold in the trench coat. Okay, so as long as maybe you arrive there in the trench coat, just the two of them, and then you're sitting there thinking as everybody points to you and you're out over the water, and then you have to step aside for the boat. You're like, oh shoot, wait a minute. You run and join the
Climbs in
trench
the
coat.
trench coat.
Yeah, the last
I
one.
always
is
had
like-
4 legs.
Pull the cord to, like, unravel the last length of it.
We're just a little taller now. It's
Exactly.
fine.
Yeah,
This
so
isn't even your final
a
form.
little, we just see a view over the crowd like
what
in
it
everyone's
is,
heads.
is he's now on the bottom.
The arms stay the
He's giving me a
same, but
piggyback
the
ride,
neck
so my arms are
lengthens.
out, and you're piggybacking on top of me.
Yeah.
We just see this very tall kobold suddenly just go like as like lumps move around inside its jacket and it's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Or he just
Okay.
clambers up to the top and that's his head at the top. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, this
That
is
would
not
defeat the
better.
purpose.
I got lost.
maybe you could pyramid of 2 kobolds on one.
Like there's a tail sticking out the top there.
Yes, this is our gambling snake.
Like, no, stupid, I'm on top of him. Throw immediately of 2
Starts
heads.
fighting inside the trench coat. Perfect. Okay.
Bet you're scared, aren't you?
They're so dazzled by the ship, they notice none of that.
So they're going to then reach for their dice, realize they don't have any dice with them actually, and say, "Dice may not work out so well for us after all today."
It's
I
okay,
wiggle
we brought
my
dice.
carpy eyebrows.
What are you, chicken of the sea?
You've put a lot of preparation into
is-
this. I'm impressed.
I feel like this is actually just a slur for
That's just the N word. But you're a carp. You have dice.
I do. What if we use my dice for all of the rolls? I could have said salmon rolls, but I didn't.
I think you need a roll here to
Thanks for
convince them,
reminding
or
Okay.
something, or some way to prove to them that your dice aren't tricked. I think they're suspicious of you. You need
Okay.
What if everybody's using the same dice?
Wait, have we introduced the trench-coated person as being part of this group, or are they just
Probably not.
around?
We're just
Good.
standing there.
Because we.
I did lean in and ask, "What's your preferred game?"
It's true.
Well, yes, but that's me more with you.
We also, I asked that in the dark language. I could have just been swearing at you.
Get out of here, dick.
I say to his dick.
Because they could offer some of their dice to be
I
used
assume
in
I
this
have
completely
dice.
unrelated
Sure.
to them wager.
Yes, I haven't directly said that we have a champion.
Yeah, maybe
I will.
you could just ask
And
the
you-
crowd, like, yeah, anyone. Does anyone have spare
Wait, are
dice?
we?
Does
your arms
anybody
or my
have
arms?
spare dice?
Several people offer, but you just reach out.
yeah, yeah. You just hear a rustling, and there's like
I do.
30
I
sets
reach
of
into the
dice.
crotch of my trench coat.
No, where are they? No, I have. No, you have.
Would you accept third-party dice? The Salmon Sisters?
Well, the residents of Carptown wouldn't tarnish the gambling tradition with tainted dice, so of course we'll accept.
They are absolutely weighted.
Thank you very much, my friend.
There you go.
Does any... So we are using yours as...
Apparently.
Will you
No,
use
no
yours?
Oh yeah, I was...
So
Yeah.
yeah, we've established that they now have a set of dice that you all brought.
Okay. Please tell me we didn't give them their dice back.
Well, now you have time to wait them.
Yes, but weighted.
Okay.
He's not the gambler. I'm the gambler. They wouldn't be his dice.
Oh yeah, I probably
the
just
three
still
are
have them.
struggling
They
for
just drop
dominance
out
on
of
the
trench.
inside. There's a lot of confusion.
Actually, so I think I'm gonna move back a little bit. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm still trying to remember rules in my head here too.
Okay.
As everyone's holding out dice here, and you're getting ready to hold out your set of dice as well, Kobe, I'm going to compel your impulse, and that a small fuzzy dog starts scampering by the trench coat and like sniffing at the feet and stuff. So you can either pay a stress to like, no, don't do it, or you can give into it.
Is it a dogfish?
It's probably a dogfish, yeah. It's very fuzzy, very, very.
I will resist because it would give away
The trench coat.
You can
All right.
steal it now. There's just a dog in there too.
See, take one stress for that, I believe. I just want to make sure I start doing that more because, yeah.
Yeah.
So you resist as the dice are being handed over, and the dog moves on after that. All right, so they've got your dice. Did you weight them? Does anyone want a
Absolutely.
flashback for that? All right, so if you could get a flashback roll for that. We see Kobe down in the lair doing some science work. I don't think this requires a roll. I think just a stress. I don't think it's a risky business. You have plenty of time to just mess with the dice until they're weighted. So here's what I think we should do. I will have them roll 2 dice and take the worst since their die is weighted. And if Carpolomew is the one rolling against them, if you could roll a single die.
I think it's the trench coat trio who's rolling against them.
Oh, the
No,
Trenchcoat
it's-
Trio just gave them their dice.
You use
Gotcha.
your dice to roll against
I thought we
them.
were leading up to actually this guy is going to be the one who's.
No, we
Well,
just.
You made the wager though.
Well, yes, that we were gonna take them off balance. I mean,
We have to,
gambling is my revelry. I will absolutely do it.
Yeah.
we have to make it look like the trench coat guy isn't with us. Otherwise, they
Yeah.
won't accept the dice.
If you do want to shift it off, that's fine. They so far think they're making a wager with you.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you
I'll
have to at
absolutely
least
do it.
convince them to do so. All right. So I'll roll 2 and take the worst. Let's see what we get here.
All right. Yes. Am I choosing a skill?
Just a luck roll, just a single die here.
Oh,
'cause,
gotcha.
Just gambling.
Sorry. 5.
All right. Well, I got a 6 and a 1. So that brings me down to a 1. That's a failure.
It landed like this.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, the dice exactly. Like one of the die, your die or their die lands on a corner, just like sticks up. Yeah, like obviously, it's like very clearly weighted, and then finally tips over to one side.
Such RNG.
Yes, we have never seen anything like that. Double or nothing. And I'm
Do you have
compelling
more
your
votes?
gambling revelry.
Double or nothing.
All right, let's go. They're gonna roll again.
1.
I also got a 1, so
we're good at
I guess
this.
we'll re-roll it.
4.
I got 2 6s.
Whew.
All right. We have won our boat back. You cannot defeat the Salmon Sisters.
Say double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
Of course.
5.
1.
Each player
I
is
win again.
by
Double or
far
nothing.
Of course. 5.
1.
Means we win 2 of their boats.
They both sink to the knees, like, still flexing as they go down.
They owe us 4 boats.
Oh no, they went back down to nothing, and so you went back up for a boat.
So now there was 2 boats.
2 boats.
It was double or nothing because there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
So you got back to a neutral state.
We owed them
Yes.
2 boats, but double or nothing.
No, double or nothing, not double or you owe them double. It's double or
No,
nothing.
so the second bet got us back to even.
Yes.
And then we won 2 in a row, so they now owe us 2 boats.
Yes.
Or a boat and something of equivalent.
Yes. It's not double or negative, it's double or nothing.
Yeah.
So,
What
So
if
yes,
you
no.
were to? What if you were to continue working your boat for a while, as the double of your nothing?
What? What is the second part of your proposition here?
For
Fly the boat.
yes, I want them to pilot the boat. I'm trying to think of like a way to word it that would like make sense for everybody involved. Like for a span of time that would be reasonable for us. Or just, you work for us now, but we'll pay you a good wage.
They're not going to work for you.
Okay.
They're in a rivalry with you. Like, yeah, that's
Understandable.
They owe us a week labor.
Alright. You'll pilot for us for a small mission we are soon to undertake. After all, you know your boat better than anybody.
And what do we get in return?
You don't owe us another boat.
Oh, so we get back one of our boats.
Do you have 2 boats?
Yeah, of course.
Should we just take the second boat?
Take the boats.
Yeah, we'll just take the second boat. Never mind.
The kobolds in the trench coat open up. Boats.
Yes, never mind. It's 2 boats.
It's
I
at
didn't know
this-
they had more than one boat.
And it's at this moment that you all take the boats and you start shipping them away. You all just leave the rowboat behind. It just sinks into the water slowly. It's,
Incredible.
His
excellent.
minions were on it.
Well, they probably swam over to the boat.
Did the boat sink or
Like
did the
rats.
paper mache just dissolve? And
Probably dissolved. I mean, you could take the rowboat with you if you want.
we
but-
need the rowboat. It's very important to our.
The paper mache weighs it down.
Yeah, you take the rowboat away from the dock, and as the sun finally fades over the horizon, all the paper mache just crumples off.
Somebody's kazooing My Heart Will Go On.
Exactly.
There's the official musical instrument of Carp Down.
It's really hard to do many musical instruments when your mouth is like up.
True.
It's just the kazoo sticking straight up. There's no chorus of them on the shore.
Do
Alright.
fish have lips?
Yes.
I do. I don't know if most of them do.
Can they go?
Now we
Because you
have,
have to go through the kazoo.
What's that?
now we have 3 boats.
We do have 3 boats, technically.
2 big boat, 1
Two boats
Yep.
that are big enough to actually be useful to transport things. 1 boat that can carry y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So you travel back to Stognagard.
Woo!
Stognagard.
Three of us know how to pilot a boat.
Yes. Alright, so now we get to do the blowback roll, which is where I see how that comes to bite you in the ass. So you
We
do a
have their boats.
trickery
It's
roll.
flawless.
Exactly.
If they were whales, it'd be the blowhole roll.
I think that went really well for a trickery plan, though. You definitely tricked them, and you got what you wanted out of it pretty flawlessly.
Yeah.
Right until they saw the paper mache.
It's all washed up on shore now.
They should have inspected it before making the bet. It's their fault.
So I'm gonna roll.
True.
That's true. I'm gonna roll 3 dice for that to see how well that went for you. Okay, so I got a full success, which means nobody suspected a thing,
Incredible.
and you each gain a dark heart.
Yay.
I was already at 2, so.
Okay, that's fine. We won't make that be an overindulgence this time because it's not during
I'm
the
at
loot roll.
2 now.
Okay.
You don't want to spend those though,
also.
because loot roll does come up, and it will mean consequences if you
Yep.
have dark hearts. So, speaking of, now we go back to lurking.
Woo!
So lurking, we start with everybody recovers all your stress. If you had anything marked as bloodied or whatever, we can do that. We could also do XP real quick if we want to look
Okay.
over your XP questions.
This tick I have on the trick one, you said to keep that there, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to make sure I wasn't supposed to get rid of that.
No, it's these little diamonds that you would clear the.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
Hey, I had a tick on trick
Get that one
also.
out of the brain.
Yeah,
Get
you
it out of
used
my
trick
brain.
this time, right?
I did.
So that goes up to 2 ticks,
Kinda
which I
wish
think
this could
means
erase
you
the
actually
ink.
get the 1 dot in that skill now. You can just fill it in.
Nice.
So using skills you don't have yet, it's good. Get you extra dots. Everybody look at your XP questions, see if anything makes sense. If you have any questions about it, we can discuss it as a group to figure out like, hey, do we think this question applied to me this raid?
No progress on the master plan.
Oh,
What
I
does
mean,
This was like a side plan for a side plan.
so the first step of the master plan is just accumulate wealth. So I think we can always get one of those for this step.
Is the
Yeah, I mean, we're
is the
making,
XP after we do the dungeon phase?
It'll be right now. Normally it's at the end of a session, but we
Gotcha.
decided to homebrew it to every lurking phase because
Yep. Right, right.
easier. So if you can remember stuff that happened last time during a dungeon phase or whatever, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, he jumped into my stealing scene.
But that doesn't
That's
count as
true.
a dungeon scene, correct?
That
was
is
That's
true.
like if we're doing our
Yeah, we-
dungeon upkeep.
We
things.
didn't really do any dungeon scenes last time. We just kind of skimmed over the downtime rules and did the mechanics. But yeah. Anyone get any other like reckless XP or whatever though? From
Mark 1 XP if you played into either being bloodied or going feral this session. I
We
don't
didn't
think
get
I
bloodied or go feral. We weren't
Yeah.
reckless enough.
yeah, you didn't do anything too challenging this time. So
I think
I
I
did
acted like a
eagerly
monster.
double or nothing several times, but I don't think that counts.
yeah, that was. I mean, that was your
That was my revelry.
revelry. Yeah, that's a little different. So, okay, not too much XP gain this time.
Say that.
I
Did you
act
say
like a
there-
monster by screeching like a raccoon when I was panicking and had no
I
plan.
think that's acting like a monster. Yeah, absolutely.
You say that because we got stuff, we get to mark an XP.
Because you got what stuff?
I don't know. Was it because you
We
said
stole boats.
treasure?
Yes,
He
we
doesn't-
So
stole,
there's a
we
loot
stole
thing
boats
separately.
which made progress on the master plan.
Oh
anyway.
yes. So you did fulfill the master plan this time. So
Okay.
that question should give you an XP.
May I borrow a pencil, please?
No. Yes.
Thank you.
I got there first. Good job.
Scraping the mark twice as fast. All right. So with XP done,
Yeah.
we do loot. Loot roll. Everybody starts with 1 die, just to start with. Just hold that out. Anybody who got extra loot during the mission. So your goal was to get a boat. You got 2 boats.
We
So
got 2 boats and, everything that was on the boats.
yeah, so I think everybody gets 2 dice. So total of 2 so far.
I also robbed their house.
So you get
But
3
you only
dice.
robbed their house of dice.
I robbed their
And,
He
house
said
of.
he was taking everything that wasn't nailed down.
Oh.
that
That's
you
true.
could-
I was trying to make
dice.
it look like a random burglary.
The more random stuff you can just yoink
Yep.
on a mission, you'll just get rewarded for it. So, yeah, act reckless, grab random things.
Now, can we use dark hearts on this?
Not on this one,
Okay.
because
That's
each
what
of
I thought you
these.
said last time.
Yeah, each of these
Wanna
dice
make
is a
sure.
separate roll technically. So
Gotcha.
yeah, go ahead and roll your total and see what you get.
2 4s.
2 5s.
5 and a 2.
All right.
2 4s and a 2.
So let's start with Kobe. What was it? 2 4s and a 2. Mm-hmm. So you get 2 gold for the 2 4s. And the 2 means you enjoy revelry, so you gain a dark heart.
That puts me over.
Alright, so you are going to overindulge. And your revelry is meat gorging, so what do you go back to the Goblin Kingdom again? Or do you think they see you coming this time?
I think
He's gonna eat the prisoners.
my plan was to go back and find that dog, but it took me too long to find it and I got hungry.
So when you finally found the
You
dog.
ate it.
So I eat the dog.
Oh no.
Rip dog.
But the dog was owned by someone very powerful and wealthy who catches me eating their dog. And I'm crying because I'm also hugging it.
So Kobe has now been caught eating things where he shouldn't in 2 separate powerful places.
The legend grows.
He's chupacabra.
Crying.
It is a dog eat dog world.
This one eater of worlds, kobold. I'll just roll that. Carpolomy, what did you roll?
I got 2 5s.
2 5, 2 gold, easy. Gladys, what did you roll?
2 4s.
2 4s is 2 gold.
And I got a 5 and a 2.
5 and a 2s. Okay, so 1 gold and you get a dark heart, which
Okay.
probably means overindulgence again because I think you're full.
Oh, yes. More gambling.
More gambling. All right.
We turned one of the boats around.
You just
Double or nothing!
you couldn't resist all of the gambling going on.
I'll take the little boat back.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so you did a
The
bit,
trench
little bit
coat's
of
just a lot
indulgence.
shorter now.
Exactly.
I don't need the trench coat.
All right.
Talking dick now.
He cuts the trench coat in half and it's just the bottom half of a guy.
I've got the cloak of invisibility. I don't need the trench coat.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I'm the ghost of gambling. Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
I don't speak your language.
An invisible ghost screams at you and then rolls dice.
All right, so we're done with the loot roll.
Yeah.
Now it's time for downtime. If everyone has their downtime actions planned or wants to start looking over the downtime thingies.
I want to start outfitting one of the boats for our next mission of bringing the statue back.
Can I help with that? Like, make it go faster?
Probably because I'm terrible at it.
I don't know what it would involve.
Both of you are useless, I'll do it.
You probably.
What if you lash the 2 boats together
Oh, I
so
like
they're
that.
strong enough to hold the statue?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's not.
Yeah. I've got 0 points in Tinker,
Are
therefore
you
it's a
done
good
with
idea.
my dagger? There, Kobe.
I can be.
Well, do you need the 2 ticks of the clock, or should I give it to them for lashing the boats together?
And here, remember what I can even do. Let's see.
No, you had a couple things going on last I knew.
I did a lot of things last time, and I can't remember how many things I do before. Well, I know I want my team of kobolds to be the ones who work on the boat and not a bunch of jackasses. But I don't remember how to make them do things.
So you can pay them a gold to take a downtime action. I don't know if you can repeat that process. I think you can. I think you can just keep spending gold to force your enemies to work harder. Because they'll happily take your portion of the loot.
I will give them 1 gold to outfit the boat with a greasable ramp. So when we push the statue down the hill, it goes up the ramp into the boat.
Perfect. I think that's a tier 1 downtime, so they can complete that in a single roll.
Yes.
2 5s.
2 5s. Okay, so that means it's a bit volatile. There's something strange. There's something dangerous about using this ramp, which obviously it's a dangerous, greasy ramp, right? Seems obvious.
There's no railing.
It'll also do a jump when it gets to the top. Potentially
Completely
landing
before
on
its
someone.
time.
I think perhaps we'll say that the greasy ramp also tends to leak grease onto the deck of the boat. But it does work. You've tested it. You've rolled things up against it. They've slid right up. It's great.
Perfect. So that's the minions doing things. Did our house do things? Is that one of the ways that I did a whole bunch of crap last time?
So I do things as the imps.
Okay.
But the
Yeah.
the imps tortured a prisoner to death last time. It was
So
nothing
I get
Yeah.
one downtime where I roll the craft things. He can roll the craft things.
Yeah.
I'm still working on the lock. The improved lock for the door.
Well, then I will roll tinkering to craft the rest of his bungee.
All right.
2 4s and a 6.
I believe that's 1 tick. Because it's if you get nothing, it's no ticks. Middle success is 1 tick. Full success is 2 ticks. So you're partway there. I can double check that, but I think that's how it works.
Is a 6 not a full success?
A 6. I only heard the 4s.
2
Okay.
4s and a 6.
The 6 makes it a full success. That's 2 ticks. Yes, correct.
Nice.
So I give him his bungee dagger, which is absolutely safe.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you can add the word bungee to your dagger. Very nice. It's very safe. That's some monster science right there.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong with throwing an edged weapon that's going
Yeah.
to come back to you?
Exactly. It just makes sense to be able to retrieve it quickly, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I can never lose it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the bad thing with throwing it at the moonshine.
If it gets caught on something, you can just give it a really hard tug, and it will probably come toward you.
There we go.
Cat noises. Alright, who else is doing downtime things?
I want to search. The Rat Queen is my responsibility. Can I teach the Rat Queen how to do games of riddles
But that is
so she can further slow adventures down?
that is absolutely an 8-tick clock.
Okay.
But yes, you can start that clock.
You have to teach her the light tongue.
You don't.
The
And-
Bass Brothers can
And
do that.
teach her
She
riddles.
doesn't.
Okay.
She doesn't need to understand the light tongue. Just memorize a few lines.
It's like a parrot.
So who is lashing the boats together?
With grease.
So yeah,
So
they got a grease ramp.
we're going to glue the boats together so that if the statue goes up the ramp and over the boat, it just lands on the other boat
Oh,
and definitely
that's
won't
genius.
put a hole in it and sink it.
Well, it'll be held up by the other boat that it's glued to, so it's fine.
Yes.
Can I spend a dark heart on making it faster to teach the Rat Queen how to do riddles?
Good question. I think dark arts you just spend to add a die to
Okay.
rolls. I think that's the main thing, which you could do in downtime rolls. I don't think there's any rule against that.
Okay.
I'll say that's fine at least. So, yeah, did you roll for it yet or no?
I've not rolled for
So
that.
yeah, you can spend a dark heart to that would essentially make it faster because it gives you extra
Okay.
chance of it being
So-
faster.
I feel like banter is the only thing that would make sense for that.
All right.
And I have no ticks in that, so that would just raise it to 1 if I used a dark heart, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
1
I will do that.
And it gives you a mark.
Yes, if you had 0, you get to
Yes, thank you. That's a 4.
a 4. So 1 tick.
Thank you.
Other downtime activities?
Can I improve the function of that room?
Sure. What would you like to do?
Well, right now, the idea is that my minions, swarm around the room and convince the adventurers that what they need to do is to lay their weapons into the pool, which
Yeah,
destroys
it's a trick.
their weapons.
You want to try and upgrade?
I
the
just
trick?
want to make it work better.
Yeah, we can upgrade the trick. I think that becomes a tier 2 project to upgrade it, so it's a 4-tick
Okay.
project. And how would you like to upgrade it? Like, what's the? Is there something enchanted down there? You're strengthening the enchantment, or?
Well, I'm not sure what the function of the water is. Like, is it acidic?
Is it just
or-
acid? You can just fill it with
I just
acid.
want to make it stronger so that it destroys their stuff.
Well, it's not acid
So-
because we enchanted it to be healing water last time.
Yeah, I think it was essentially the trick was for them to lay down some of their equipment in the water, like they're giving up something in return for something,
Right.
and then it would probably just yoink it and steal it. Maybe it would sink into quicksand or something, right? Like
I mean, she has invisible minions in the room. They just take it.
that too. So maybe
It's a trapdoor in the film.
upgrading the trick, upgrading all these tricks and traps and things tends to make them more likely to succeed rather than like increasing like their damage, because
Okay.
this doesn't even do damage in the first place. But
Right.
it could, a tier 2 trap would, you would roll 2 dice for it instead of 1. Much
Right.
more likely.
So
for
upgrade
roll
it to a
high.
tier 2 from a tier 1.
Yeah, so it'd be a tier 4 clock to upgrade the.
Paint a glowing runic mural on the wall depicting how they should do this and that it will grant them weapons.
Yes.
And then sign it
Yeah.
with like the sigil of one of the light factions to make it look like
The
this is
UPS.
totally legit.
Totally legit.
I use the IKEA guy in the illustrations. He's trustworthy.
Perfect.
So I make one of these a 4 slice pie.
Yep, 4 slice pie. And then you can choose what action you think is how you're upgrading it here. What method are you taking?
Well, would it be to make the minions more effective or to make the fountain more effective?
That's up to you. What do you think? What's your vision for the trap here? For the trap?
Well, I'd like to make the minions more effective, or make
Okay.
the runes more effective. Make
So, well-
it more likely that they will do the thing.
Yeah, I would the one trick with making it actually your minions is during dungeon defense your minions will be on the map doing things. You're able to like move your minions around as your character during that. So
They hire a professional translator to make the runes.
yeah, so
We
instead
have translators.
One of them's your minion. I think.
yeah, so it's probably better to have it function without maybe like you have imps in the room that do something, but they might not be invisible or whatever, right? So
Imps are wearing little bed sheets.
Well, my minion
like
is supposed to
ghosts.
be there to speak to the adventurers and make them seem like they're their friends and are
Well, if, you have,
advising them on how to use the fountain for their.
if your
benefit.
minions are on the
Maybe-
map at that time, it might be super effective, but you could still have the mural that shows what to
So-
do with them.
So maybe instead of saying your minions, like the pack you have, you've just summoned a different ghost to chill there. Different from your minions.
Oh, okay.
That you've bound to this place. Does that make sense? Right? Maybe that would work. I want to make sure we don't tie your minions to someplace and then you don't get to have them on the map and here.
I
at the
do
same
know a
time.
lot
Yeah.
of ghosts.
So yeah, you just found a different ghost.
I lived in a nursing home for a long time.
There you go.
You just pulled the ghost out of one of the guys we killed.
The guy who was
You work for me now.
Just one of the lumberjacks to speak them. He's
The
hanging
guy
out
that
over
got
You're a
tortured
fountain
to
jack
death.
now.
Yeah. It's like
Made
Walt
apple
at the end of the campaign. So it's just giant buff lumberjack dude.
Yeah.
It's like
You
Just
know,
hanging out.
you
But
can
he's
look
like
at me
the-
and you know I know all about
Yeah.
fountains.
exactly. He's the spirit of the fountain. You know. He's just
It's like
So how
in
do I-
Zelda, but a buff lumberjack spirals up out of the
Yeah.
magical waters.
so now you want to pick an action that's what you're going to use to like bind the spirit essentially, right? So like what do you?
Invoke, I can imagine.
Yeah, I think invoke makes sense.
So I roll 3.
Yes, roll whatever your invoke rating is.
There's
So-
one for each die, right?
Yep.
3, 2, and a 4.
A 4. Okay, so you can add 1 tick to your clock.
Cool. And I can use the dark cards to roll more?
I'll allow it, but normally you're supposed to announce before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, sorry. You can add a die to this roll with a dark heart. Normally you have to say, spend a dark heart before you roll.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you want to make more rolls, you could, like, spend a gold and have your minion do it and that kind of thing, but, yeah.
So I can roll one?
Yeah, if you want to spend a dark heart, you can roll an extra die.
That's a 1.
So nothing extra happens, but...
But I didn't want to run over on dark cards.
Yes, it's good to just get rid of them. I
I
get
lifted
that.
a rock to see if there was an additional ghost under it. There was not.
Oh, darn ghost. It shatters one of your dark hearts. No ghosts.
Be my fountain ghost. No, you tortured me to death. Fuck, man. I'll ask later.
Okay,
Damn.
so you didn't need an extra tick?
I mean, I can always use them.
Right.
But if you
I
want to
don't-
do more things,
Well, no, they don't do anything for me. I was going to give them one to each of these two. If you don't have if it's not going to get you over.
I mean, I can look at my projects to see what may help us in the future. Now I haven't used any of my regular things. I'll hold off on that. Give that to them.
Okay, so I'll give advance each of your things by
Thanks.
1 tick.
Thank you.
I think the imps are going to help with the rat project because they are the rat children.
Okay.
So they're going to roll dungeon tier. And they got a failure, so they don't help at all. But they're trying their best. They
Their
hear,
little lungs are so tiny.
Yes, they hear the things that Carpolomew is trying to teach to the rat mother, and they understand. So they start repeating them, but it's like a game of telephone. And every time they repeat it, it's a little bit worse, and it's not really helping, unfortunately. But
Bless their little hearts.
Okay.
they're trying.
Bless their little dark hearts.
Yes.
And so do I roll to work
Yes.
on the lock there?
Yes, you could do that. What skill are you rolling?
I guess tinker.
That makes sense to me.
It will stall the adventurers more though, just having a swarm of baby rats like
May as well
Yes.
use one of the dark
half
arts.
remembered riddles at them.
Get rid of it.
4, 3, and a 1.
4. All right, so that is 1 tick towards that project.
Yay. We're almost there.
Almost there. Okay, so let's go through. Is that everyone's downtime? Anyone have any more gold they want to spend or whatever?
Nope.
Through that stuff.
Did
I
you
think
want
I'm
to spend
good.
gold on anything? There's
I don't think so, unless you think there's something particularly useful I can do with it.
So you, every gold you spend, you can take an additional downtime using your minion stats. Essentially, is how that works. So you could do that if you want to get some more ticks and something, but it's
I can
It's
spend
optional.
gold to advance this.
essentially yeah.
I would
So-
like to do that.
All right, so you'll want to pick an action from your minions set of actions and
They
roll
invoke
that.
as well.
Perfect. So yeah, you can take an invoke and spend a gold and
What does mindset do
So-
for them?
mindset. Which one is that?
So they have
and
two.
do we have the list of minion things?
One of the things I can give them.
Oh yes. Let me look that up.
Says gives examples of fearless, loyal, zealous. Make one up. It says.
So it's just like a trait that you're giving them?
Yeah, let me dungeons,
Meow, 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 meow,
dungeons,
meow.
minions. Upgrades. Okay, which one was it?
Mindset.
Mindset. Your minions have a mental edge. Yes, so you yeah, it's an additional keyword for the minions, like Taylor was saying. So if if you're like my minions want to roll this thing, can I get a bonus because they're loyal or something, right? Then yeah, if it makes sense for them to be better because they're loyal, then you get a bonus on it.
What's the word for being obsessed with making new technology?
There's definitely
Early
a word
adopters.
for it. But early adopters,
That's
yes.
2 words.
Early, not in German.
Industrious.
Industrious can make
Industrious,
sense.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. A little bit.
But we can, yeah. That could be one for them eventually. Yeah. Did you want to roll for your minions?
Yes, they have 2 dots, so I use 2 dots.
Perfect. Yep. So you spend 1 gold and
Nice.
3 and a 6.
oh, 6. So you get 2 ticks.
Oh, neat. I'm done. Yay.
Look at that.
Nice.
I
I don't
would.
know what my ghosts are going to do with the gold, but they can have it.
All right. So this becomes a tier 2 trick then, right?
Yes.
I would like to spend a gold to have the Bass Brothers try to perform an arcane ritual to imbue the Rat Queen with more intelligence.
All right. So they can go ahead and roll that.
All right.
Spend a gold.
They
for that.
they have the superstitious dark impulse. Would that affect this at all?
I don't think their impulse would. No.
Okay.
Not at this point, but.
That's a 3.
3. So they're really trying, but they get overpowered by the imps that are really trying their best to scream. They're all screaming over each other at different phases in the riddle. It's like one saying the first part, another saying the last part, and it's just it's a
Unfortunate.
cacophony
If
in
you
there.
teach them each one word and just teach them to go in order, you'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go. So you're making some progress, but I think this is representative of it. It's only 1 tick done, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the progress is going slow, but you'll get there eventually. All right. Any other downtime activities?
I can't spend a gold to help progress his
Yeah, you could.
progress with the Rat Queen.
You could, yeah. So you would spend a gold and you would have your minion do something towards the Rat Queen. As long as you have the extra gold to spend. Keep in mind that I am going to roll dungeon logic and calamity
Yeah.
soon. And if I don't roll really well on that and your minions aren't super on your side, you have to pay them gold to take them with you on missions. So you might want to hold 1 gold in reserve just in case, but
Okay.
that's up to you. Some of you don't even take your minions on missions like Kobe, and you don't even need to hold that gold in
What
reserve.
do your ghosts do with the gold?
I don't know.
Do they eat? Do
Maybe.
ghosts eat gold?
So
Oh,
gold
that
is
sounds like it.
yeah, it's an abstraction for a small part of your hoard. So maybe they drink your booze a little bit, or
Because they're spirits, you see.
the spirits. You see, yes, exactly. They partake of the spirits. Yes. Perhaps they just suck on ingots like candy.
What are you trying to see?
I'm trying to see if any of this looks like something that would make talking to a rat helpful.
Is it a machine that lets you talk to rats?
I mean, they are fluent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, you know, their language skills can help teach a rat language.
What action rating do you think would be used for it? Because they could use invoke again. You could do like a ritual, right? Like Kobe's minions did the
Oh,
Bass
you
Brothers.
try to magic the rat into more intelligence.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do.
Okay,
The
we
Bass
can
Brothers
magic
just
the
didn't
rat
have it
into
in
more
them.
intelligence.
Maybe you'll set up an illusion in the room that just blares out the riddle repeatedly.
It's flowers for Algernon, but giant demon rat.
Yes.
Perfect. 4 and a 5.
All right, so that's 1 tick.
Look at
What's
that.
that for?
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, ghosts.
Thank you, ghosts. Ghosts. All right,
The answer, of course, is ghosts.
we good on downtime?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's review the dungeon logic. How happy are your little imps in this dungeon? I think
They're in a frantic frenzy at the moment.
they're in a frantic frenzy. I think they're doing all right. They do have the whole minion bar back here, which they're really enjoying. You know, they've got easy access to all the different parts of the dungeon they need to work in. You know, there very clearly is multiple rooms in the way of going down to the lair. I think they give you a pretty good rating for now. They're definitely looking for an expansion here, but you
Yeah.
know,
No, we just gave them 2 ships. and
That's true.
Rats like ships.
they do
They
like
get to
they
go
do like
fishing
ships.
all they
The
want.
rats do. You know what? That's a good point. I won't count the no expansion against you. That's a very good
A
point.
lot of them are happy gluing the boats together.
Exactly.
They get to slide down the grease ramp.
Oh. We'll have fun with that.
They also get to slide up the grease ramp, I think.
So I think the all right, I'm gonna say your minions, your imps are not grumbling at all at the moment. So I'm
Woo!
gonna roll 3 dice. Oh, and I rolled a crit.
Excellent.
So your minions also, once again, gain morale if they didn't already have it. Which they only have 1 spot for morale, but I
Yeah.
don't think they spent it. But so they're gonna join the next raid for free once again.
But does morale do that we can spend it?
It's like a dark heart for your minion.
No.
So they can consume it to get an extra dot on rolls. Which is
Awesome.
nice. Yeah. And for the critical, something else happens here, but it's a little more complicated, so please bear with me. Because I need to go to the section here. To roll that. So your minions, they're longing for expansion, of course, as they do. And I think they start just digging out in small areas, not fully completing a room yet, but just attempting to, scraping away at some walls. And they uncover a hidden door here,
Ooh.
which leads into a room pretty large here that is of the same kind of construction as this old structure you found here, this old sanctum that you found here. And inside was a large, like, almost like a containment unit of some kind.
Interesting.
Like a large metal like dome with like windows into it, And as your minions got closer to it, they opened up the room and like looked around with wonder and awe. They got closer to it, and all of their little rat hair started standing up on end. So they backed away from it and let you all go to it. So you're in the dungeon. What do you all do?
Put a prisoner in there.
Put a prisoner in the
We have
See
dungeon.
what
prisoners that are
happens?
still alive?
Yes,
Yes.
we have
Yeah, throw one in there.
3.
I'm
I
gonna
think,
look
at
through the
moment.
window.
All right, there is inside the dome just like a little spark hovering right in the middle, just like occasionally like just kind of hovered right in the middle.
Yeah, so only one prisoner to begin with.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yes.
Okay.
Get
Oh,
the prisoner.
You know, to be fair, we should throw the newest prisoner in there.
I'm going to
How
try
is
and
that fair?
identify this.
Okay.
It made sense in my head.
So yeah,
I agree.
think
I think the
It
newest
seems like
prisoner-
some type of power generator.
yeah. So I think this is going to be an 8 o'clock project for you to figure out the properties of this thing.
How
Start messing with it.
how much thinking does he get in the time it takes us to drag a prisoner down there?
Well, it depends on if he spends a gold to have his minions start working.
Nope.
Okay.
I wonder if the
All right, so
prisoner
not at all.
can advance the clock by dodging the internal lightning bolts.
Yeah, we should definitely put a prisoner in there.
Yeah, we're doing that.
All right, so you go and get a prisoner.
Yeah.
You walk around to the other side of the dome and you find a big old hatch on the back. You crank it open.
Does it say
Clearly, you're
prisoners on?
supposed to put prisoners in.
You clearly. You open the door and quickly throw the prisoners. Yeah, he starts screaming in the light tongue. He's
Yeah.
pleading and begging. He goes in there and just gets vaporized.
Quick, write it down.
Just turns into ash. And yes, you get 1 tick on the clock for that.
Alright, so now we know when you throw prisoners in the prisoner dome, you get rid of the prisoners.
What happens when you throw a rat in there?
I imagine they would also get vaporized.
Let's find out.
This is
No.
now where we
For
get rid of our
science.
garbage.
Okay, we'll ask
This
for
is the garbage
volunteers.
There's some
Also,
garbage.
yes, the garbage chute.
Our minions are happy. Don't start throwing him in the thing until they start giving us
No,
lip.
but this way we don't have to bring anything up to the surface that we want to get rid of.
Yes, that's a very good
We can
point.
just take it and throw it in the
Be a
garbage.
tremendous asset.
We're already just throwing it in the liquid in it. It's fine.
Ask for
The,
volunteer rats.
A short moment after the prisoner gets vaporized and you all start bickering over
Or
what to
maybe
do about this
teleported.
thing, you hear loud sound of thunder up above you outside. Just roaring and shaking the place. It's a huge, huge sound of thunder.
Run, run, run.
I think you turned him into a lightning bolt.
Oh, look outside.
It is currently heavily raining.
It's raining.
We found out how to sacrifice prisoners to summon rain. Very handy indeed.
Maybe that's what this tower does.
I'm just gonna label this from the Thunderdome.
Incredible. One man enters, no man leaves.
Exactly. It's too perfect. I couldn't not. All right. And I'll just tier 3. So that's
So
what it
is
is.
there anything in this tower? Or is it just...
I think you've probably hollowed it out to use as a smokestack at this point, but it was not significant when you were working out there
Okay.
before. Now it's a lighthouse. It's old machinery.
That's a
and stuff.
lightning house.
No, it's a lightning house. Yeah, exactly. All right. So, with that done, do you want to start planning your next raid for next time? We got 10 minutes, or we could just end early and do the raid planning next time. That's up to you guys. If you have,
I'm good with either.
We
I mean-
sort of planned it already. We
You
take
did,
boats, we go there, throw me through a window, I open the door, we rush in, saw out the legs of the statue.
With a statue saw.
Yes.
yeah,
I have
Thank goodness the fishing rod is
you really do
saw
already
it.
have a plan. I guess so. You didn't finish stapling the boats together, right? Nobody made a roll for that.
No.
No.
So you don't
Oh, we
currently
probably
have the
need to do
boats stapled
that.
together.
We have a ramp.
You
Yes,
have a
we have a,
what?
gre-
A
we have a
ramp.
greased ramp,
You have a ramp. That's true.
but the boats are not attached to one another yet.
Yeah. Does anyone want to quickly just spend some gold and get that done?
I would like to have the Bass Brothers spend a gold in a morale.
All right. Sounds good. Get the boats connected. Maybe some planks between them, like one solid platform. It's just a tier 1 roll. It's not too difficult.
Okay. They're tinkering. That's a 3.
3. So they don't manage it, but you
Oh, I'm
can...
sorry. That should have been 3 dice. I'm sorry.
Oh, true. Yes. Good. You did
That was a
specify.
4.
Okay, so that will do it, but it is going to be a bit shaky.
Okay.
If you manage to bind the boats together,
How did you get 3 die? Did you use your morale?
Because
Yes. Into morale. So it's a bit shaky, especially with all the grease and stuff. I think the surface of the boat is a pretty major tripping hazard right now because you've got the grease on it, and you've got these ropes going back and forth across the bridge.
Yeah.
So it's not the easiest boat to operate. I think is kind of the state we're gonna leave your boats in. But you do have a very large sort of barge, I guess, at this point that you can bring down, get the statue, and come back. And a brief week-long journey down the river.
Yeah. Got lots of booze to carry us over.
Exactly. So I think we'll pick up from there next time.
Yeah.
How fast is this river? Are we gonna be able to get back up it?
It looks pretty. I don't know. It doesn't look particularly fast.